शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत। हरि ओम तत्सत। हरि ओम तत्सत। So once again, very happy Makara Sankranti to all people. A very auspicious day, and this is more auspicious for us because it was on Makar Sankranti that Swami Vivekananda was born. Okay, and in Makar Sankranti is the day on which the sun starts proceeding northward. उत्तरायण, दक्षिणायन से उत्तरायण की ओर सूरज बढ़ जाता है. So that is the change of path, and with the incoming of Swami Vivekananda, the destiny of this whole nation changed. Very extraordinary person, Swami Vivekananda. And I would like to begin with telling one or two occasions on Swami Vivekananda because, and that will be very relevant because today we are going to begin with chapter 17 of Ashtavakra Gita, where Ashtavakra actually tells the characteristic of an enlightened being. ज्ञानी या जीवन मुक्त जो होता है उसके लक्षण ये 17वें प्रकरण में अष्टावक्र जी बता रहे हैं. और ये जब आप पढ़ते हैं तो हमको ऐसा ऐसा लगता है कि सचमुच क्या ऐसे मनुष्य हो सकते हैं. बट पीपल लाइक स्वामी विवेकानंद, द एनलाइटन बीइंग लाइक स्वामी विवेकानंद, they have shown that this is possible, this is what happens to them, you know. So only two things, two incidences I will tell you from Swami Vivekananda's life. You know, for all of us, we are so much with this body that to leave body and enter into state of meditation is a tremendous task for us. ये देह के परे जाना, मन के परे जाना, ध्यानावस्था में आना, almost impossible for us, almost impossible. You know, there was a period in Swami Vivekananda's life in which to stay in the body was very difficult for him. He was so much enlightened that to hold on to the body was difficult for him. So he used to travel along with an American lady to various meetings, and on so many meetings he used to address. So one day she took him to a meeting point in USA. This has happened in USA. It was a big theater and there was a green room, and they reached little early, some half an hour early. So there was a green room because it was a theater, and she told Swamiji that you please be seated here. आप थोड़ा आराम कीजिए, यहाँ बैठिए, और I will see the arrangement and come back to you. So Swamiji sat in meditation in a chair, and he started losing the body consciousness, actually speaking. So he just stood up, and it was a green room. There was a huge mirror there in the green room. And so he was going to and fro. Then in between he was stopping and looking at his own reflection for very long time. खुद का जो प्रतिबिंब था वो देखते रहते थे बहुत देर तक, और फिर इधर उधर जाते थे अस्वस्थ. And this lady, this American lady, she came and she just peeped in to see what Swamiji is doing, and he was standing before the mirror and gazing at his own reflection. And a thought came into her mind that he's a sannyasi. Why should he be so particular about his looks? ये तो सन्यासी है और मैं कैसा दिखता हूँ, इस प्रकार का भाव इनके मन में क्यों आ रहा है? Why is gazing inside the mirror? As soon as this thought came into that lady's mind, Swamiji turned back and he said, "No, mother, I don't want to know how I look. I am reminding myself that Vivekananda, this is your body, because I am feeling that I may lose the body consciousness any time. And I am telling this reflection that you stay in this body, you have to address the people in this body. This is Jivan Mukta Avastha. One more thing which I will tell, then we'll turn to this 17th chapter. One Swami Vivekananda, he used to be called at many, many places, and sometimes he used to address highly uh, elite audience. So once he was addressing such an audience, and when he starts speaking, there will be pin drop silence, and after 2, 3, 4 minutes, Swamiji suddenly stopped and suddenly left the stage and started going out. So the organizers who were there, they were afraid that what happened? Why Swamiji is angry or what? Did we make any mistake and therefore he is leaving the stage? So they ran after him and said, Swamiji, please excuse us if something is wrong. You left the stage. Now only everybody in the audience, there was pin drop silence, and they were listening to you, and they seemed to be elevated. Swamiji said, precisely this is what happened. When I started addressing, I found that many of them, they have gone to the higher level of consciousness, and many of them, they have not really come to that level. It may adversely affect them. And as soon as I came to know that this may happen, I told myself, Vivekananda, leave this place immediately, because you don't want to create trouble for the people. So this is what really a Jivan Mukta means, an enlightened person means, and there are several such incidences. So why I told you this? Because of course it was Vivekananda Jayanti only the other day, and you can see such people if you study their life. And so this is what we are going to learn today. जीवन मुक्त के लक्षण ये 17वें प्रकरण में अष्टावक्र बता रहे हैं. And this is what you find even in Bhagavad Gita also, second chapter, Sthita Prajna Lakshana. When he is Sthita Prajna, Prajna means the higher state of consciousness. Sthita Prajna means one who is established in higher state of consciousness. And Arjuna in the second chapter, he asked Krishna actually, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha, samadhisthasya keshava, sthitadi kim prabhasheta, kimasita vrajeta kim. Krishna, please tell me, those who are enlightened beings, those who are in higher state of consciousness, those who are in sthita prajna, how do they talk? How do they walk? What they like, what they don't like. स्थित प्रज्ञ से का भाषा, समाधिस्तस्य, वो तो हमेशा समाधि में रहते हैं. कैसा उनका व्यवहार होता है, कैसी उनकी भाषा होती है, कैसे वो चलते हैं फिरते हैं. And in the next verse, he actually defines what is Sthita Prajna. The entire chapter itself is so beautiful. We are not going for that. But what he says is, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyevatmanah tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. One whose all desires have been burnt out. Prajahati. Jahati means burnt out. Prajahati means completely burned out. No desires at all. Kaman, desires. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. All the mental activities have vanished. Atmana eva tushta. Atmanyeva atmana tushta. He stays in the self. He is happy with the self. Such a person is known as Sthita Prajnastadochyate. He is living liberated. He is a Jivan Mukta. That is what Krishna says. That is what we are going to learn in the 17th chapter of Ashtavakra Gita. And Ashtavakra Uvacha, we come to the first stanza of the 17th chapter of Ashtavakra Gita. Tena jnana phalam praptam योगाभ्यास फलम तथा तृप्तः स्वच्छेन्द्रियो नित्यम एकाकी रम्यते तुयः. दिस इज सिद्ध प्रज्ञा लक्षण. तेन ज्ञान फलम प्राप्तम, जिसने ज्ञान का फल प्राप्त किया. वन हु हैज बिकम एनलाइटन्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द नॉलेज. योगाभ्यास फलम तथा, योगाभ्यास का फल जिसको मिला. योगाभ्यास का फल क्या है? मुक्ति. ज्ञान फल क्या है? मुक्ति. ज्ञान और योगाभ्यास फल से जो मुक्त हो गया, he has become liberated already. So तेन ज्ञान फलम प्राप्तम योगाभ्यास फलम तथा तृप्तः आत्मन्येव आत्मना तृप्तः, he is contented with himself. Swachendriya, his all his sense organs are totally pure. What is meant by Swachendriya? What is meant by totally pure sense organs? Our sense organs, they are outward oriented. हमारी जो इंद्रिया है वो जगत से जुड़ी हुई होती है, बाह्यमुखी चेतना उनमें होती है. स्वच्छेंद्रिय वो है, वो अंतर्मुखी होती है. इंद्रिया जब अंतर्मुखी होती है, इंद्रिया जब आत्मलीन होती है, such sense organs are called as pure sense organs. If sense organs are outward oriented, they enjoy the world, the worldly things. And that kind of enjoyment is transitory enjoyment. जगत का सुख उसको मिलते रहता है, जो ज्यादा देर नहीं टिकता. When the sense organs are inward oriented, then it is in Atmananda. It is enjoying the bliss of the self. Okay. So trupta swachendriyo nityam ekaki ramate tuyah. He is alone. वो तृप्त होकर एकांत का आनंद लेते रहते हैं. वो जगत में है, जगत में रहते हुए भी he is in solitude all the time. एकांते रमते तुया, रमते enjoying. Okay. So जिसे ज्ञान प्राप्ति हुई, योग साधना का फल मिला, जिसकी इंद्रिया शुद्ध हुई, वह तृप्त होकर एकांत का आनंद लेता है. That is what 17.1 means. One who is enlightened, one whose yogic practices have been fructified, one who has purified his senses, enjoys solitude forever. Nityam ekaki ramate tuyah. Okay. So in this chapter, Ashtavakra is telling about what are the characteristics of such a man who is enlightened being. ऐसा जो जीवन मुक्त है, उसका किस प्रकार उसका व्यवहार होता है. सो जिसने योग साधना पूर्ण की है और वो ज्ञानी हुआ है, उसकी इंद्रिय इस तरह से शुद्ध हो जाती है कि वह खुद को जगत से अलग नहीं पाता. वह जगत में खुद को अकेला ही पाता है. ही इज ऑलवेज, नथिंग इन द वर्ल्ड डिस्टर्ब्स हिज सॉलिट्यूड. उसका जो एकांत है, वो बाजार में रहे या जंगल में रहे या गुफा में रहे या घर में रहे, कहीं भी हमेशा वो एकाकी ही रहता है. ही इज कंटिन्यूअसली इन साइलेंस. उसकी शांति ढलती नहीं है कभी भी. सो दिस इज व्हाट एक्चुअली, नो सेंसेशंस फ्रॉम आउटसाइड कैन डिस्टर्ब his calmness, his silence. This again in Bhagavad Gita, when Sthita Prajna Lakshanas have been told, the last thing, the last sloka, 78th sloka in the second chapter is Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti apnoti na kamakami. Very beautiful description of enlightened person with infinite consciousness. आपूर्यमाणम अचलम प्रतिष्ठम, जैसा समुद्र में प्रविशंति है, just as in the infinite ocean, thousands of rivers, they come, pour water inside the ocean. उसी प्रकार sensations may come from outside. Thousands of sensations may come from outside, like thousands of rivers entering into the sea. There is no change in the sea. They do not disturb the sea. They do not disturb the infinity of the sea. तद्वत कामायम परिविशन्ति सर्वे सशांति मापनोति न काम कामी. उसकी शांति ढलती नहीं. With all sorts of sensations coming from outside, उसकी मन की शांति ढलती नहीं है. So that is a wonderful state in which the sthita prajna is. That is a wonderful state in which the enlightened being is. We go to the second verse. न कदाचित जगति अस्मिन् तत्वज्ञा हंत खिद्यति यत एकेन तेनेदं पूर्ण ब्रह्मांड मंडलम. यत एकेन तेनेदं पूर्णम ब्रह्मांड मंडलम. He has pervaded the whole universe. He finds himself in the whole universe. That means his consciousness has expanded to universal consciousness. He has become universal consciousness. That is why he has become ekaki. Ekaki means one. He is alone there. In entire Brahmanda, he alone is existing. And if I alone am there, how there can be any misery for me? न कदाचित जगति अस्मिन् तत्वज्ञ हंत खिद्यति. किसी भी प्रकार का दुख की उसके लिए संभावना नहीं है. वन हु नोज द तत्वज्ञ, जिसने तत्वज्ञान. व्हाट इज तत्वज्ञ? तत्वज्ञ मीन्स वन हु इज इन यूनिवर्सल कॉन्शियसनेस, वन हु हैज रियलाइज्ड दैट ही इज इन्फिनिट कॉन्शियसनेस. ही इज नोन एज तत्वज्ञ. So he doesn't get disturbed by anything. He has no misery because yata ekena tenedam purnam brahmanda mandalam. पूरे ब्रह्मांड में उसकी चेतना फैली हुई है और इसलिए उसको कोई दुखी होता नहीं. Misery arises because of the sense of duality. When I have got individual consciousness, when consciousness is individualized, I see myself, I see the world, the duality, and then the multiplicity comes. There the misery starts. All misery arises out of the sense of duality. That is why Upanishad says, द्वैताद्वै भयम. द्वैत से ही दुख भय उत्पन्न होता है. So when a man finds himself separated from the world into individual consciousness, all sorts of misery. Then kidyanti, hanta kidyanti. Such a man will have innumerable miseries. क्योंकि जो मनुष्य खुद को शरीर, मन, बुद्धि, ये उपाधियों से सीमित कर देता है. What is individual consciousness? I am confining myself to my body, to my mind, to my senses, and therefore I am experiencing good and bad through all these upadhis. Okay. One who is enlightened being, he has gone beyond body, mind, senses, and therefore is one with the whole world. How there can be any? So, वो केवल अकेला ही उस दुनिया में रहने के कारण कहाँ से उसको दुख होगा, कहाँ से उसको शत्रु होगा, किससे वो युद्ध करेगा, किससे उसको तनाव पैदा होगा. So a man of realization always remains in bliss, since he is only one with the whole universe. So that is the second stanza. We come to third. न जातु विषयः केपि स्वारामं हर्षयन्त्यमि सल्लकी पल्लव प्रीतम इवेभम निम्ब पल्लवाः. Very beautiful simile has been given. इवेभम, इभम. हाथी अगर उसको सल्लकी पल्लवम एक प्रकार some sort of leaves. The elephant is very fond of those leaves. They are very tasty kind of leaves. Sallaki pallavam. You can say very fresh grass, very fresh type of leaves, which particularly elephant, they like it very much. Now, if those Sallaki Pallavam are available, if those very tasty leaves are available, why the elephant even will look at Nimba Pallavaha? Nimba Pallava, नीम के पत्ते जो कड़वे होते हैं. When he's having in front of him only Sallaki Pallavam, very tasty leaf, why the elephant will even look at Nimba Pallava, the bitter leaves of neem tree? It is impossible. What he means is one who is established in the self, जो आत्मस्थित हुआ है योगी, वो because Atma is Satchid Ananda Swarup, he is in infinite bliss. When he is in infinite bliss, why he will look for very limited transitory pleasure which comes through the senses, through the mind, through the body, through the intellect? How he will get interested in all these things? So just as elephant enjoying the fresh grass, tasty leaves, will never get interested in margosa leaves, neem trees, one who has realized the self will not be interested in sense objects, because that ananda is so limited. And that is what, when we have learnt the Taittiriya Upanishad, we have learnt about the grades of bliss. Manusha Ananda. When we are pleased with sensual pleasures and all fully, sa eko manusha ananda. तेये शतम मानुषा आनंदा स एको मनुष्य गंधर्वाणाम आनंदा. जो those who like physical pleasures, I want comfort, I want sensual pleasures, eat, drink, be merry. More than that, 100 times more than that is the bliss of Gandharvas, the art and the musicians, artists. That is why they are called as Gandharvas. More than that is Deva Gandharvaha. And it goes on and on. There's so many grades of another. Till you come to Brahmana Ananda. The enlightened being is in Brahmananda, infinite bliss. Okay. So when you have infinite bliss, why you will go for the small, limited pleasure of the sense organs of the mind? So that is what he is saying. Let us go to the next verse. Yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu न भवति अधिवासितः अयुक्तेषु निराकांक्षी तादृशो भव दुर्लभा. सो अधिवासिता मीन्स जो भोग के लिए आकर्षित होता है, भवति अधिवासितः. सो जो चीज, what happens to us is we enjoy something and we want to repeat that enjoy. Yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu. We get attached to all those pleasures which we enjoy through the mind, through the sense organs. We get attached to them. So if I am attached to my car, I want to ride my car again and again. If I am attached to tasty food, I want to go again and again to that same hotel to have the same tasty food. So this is called bhogeshu. जो भोग भोगते हैं वो again and again we want to enjoy them because they are so transitory. And bhukteshu, we have not really enjoyed the things, but we hear that, oh, there is very beautiful thing out there, and somebody comes and tells us that, have you visited Singapore anytime? We said, no, we are not. Oh, Singapore, if you have not visited, what is the use? It is so beautiful, it is so joyous, must go there. Then we have desire to enjoy that which we have not enjoyed. So that is what I said. One who is not attached to the things already enjoyed and not hankering after things yet to be enjoyed. Yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu na bhavati adhivasita. He is not attached to all those things which is enjoyed. He is not attached to those things which he has not enjoyed, but I have heard from others that, oh, there is so much of enjoyment. I want to go to US, I have not seen it. वो इच्छा मेरी कायम रहती है, कब मैं जाऊंगा. to different countries. So many types of desires which we have not enjoyed. So we are attached even to those desires which we have not enjoyed. Okay. Now what he says, ayukteshu nirakangshi, the one who is not attached to something which is enjoying and something yet not enjoyed. Such a person, तादृशो भव दुर्लभा, ऐसा आदमी मिलना बहुत ही कठिन है कि जो भोगों के साथ जिसको आसक्ति नहीं है और जो अभी तक भोग नहीं लिए हैं उनके प्रति जिसको आकांक्षा नहीं है, इज नॉट डिजायर्स ऑफ समथिंग. सो सच ए पर्सन is really very rare. That is what he says. So जो भोग भोग लिए है उसके प्रति आसक्त नहीं है और अब तक जिसका भोग नहीं ले पाए हैं उसके प्रति निरीक्ष है, ऐसा मनुष्य बहुत ही दुर्लभ है. So only one who has become totally desireless will be such a person, and actually such a person is Jivan Mukta. That is what he is saying. Let us go to the fifth stanza. बुभुक्षुर यह संसारे मुमुक्षुरपि दृश्यते भोग मोक्ष निराकांक्षी विरलो ही महाशयाः. He is going even a step further. निरीच्छ कितना होना चाहिए? तो दो प्रकार के लोग रहते हैं इस दुनिया में. इन दिस वर्ल्ड यू फाइंड टू टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल, बुभुक्षु और मुमुक्षु. बुभुक्षु यानी जिनके पास भोगेच्छा है, those who want to enjoy the world, those who want to enjoy the sensual objects, the mental objects, the intellectual objects, enjoy the world. They are called bhukshu. They go after pleasures, worldly pleasures. People who run after worldly pleasures, they are known as bhukshu. There are other type of people who are mumukshu. They say, no, 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 I don't want to have worldly pleasure. I am desire or moksha is called as mumukshu. So I want to leave everything, सबका मैं त्याग कर दूंगा और मोक्ष के मार्ग पर मैं चलूंगा. Intense desire for liberation is known as mukshu. Okay, so these are the two types of people, bumukshu and mumukshu. Now what he says, actually bhoga moksha nirakangshi, one he is neither attached to bhoga nor even attached to the spiritual path or mumukshutva. So neither desire for enjoyment nor even desire for liberation. Viralohi Mahashaya. Very rare is the person who is neither after the worldly enjoyment nor even after the liberation. So this is what Jivan Mukta means. No desires at all. Even desire for liberation is a desire, though little higher desire, spiritual desire, but desire all the same. Now he has become so desireless. Total desirelessness is one of the lakshana. Prajahati yada kaman. That is what we saw the Sita Pradya Lakshana. So that is what really this fifth sloka means. So only when there is complete desirelessness, the enlightened being will not hanker after enjoyment or liberation. Now next sloka number 6. धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षेषु जीविते मरणे तथा कस्यापि उदार चित्तस्य हेयो उपादेय हेयोपादेयता नहीं. Neither there is heya nor there is upadeya. Heya means svikarya, something which is to be done, something ought to be done. Heya means something which is to be renounced. So for such a person there is nothing which is to be त्याग करने लायक भी कुछ नहीं है, आसक्ति करने लायक भी कोई नहीं है. There is neither heya upadeya. So very beautiful verse really. The man of enlightenment does not accept or reject ideas. हेयोपादेय कुछ भी नहीं है उसके लिए. किसको? कस्य अपि उदार चित्तस्य. Udara chitta means what? Whose heart has expanded with universal consciousness. Udara chitta means who is not in limited consciousness, who is not in physical consciousness, whose consciousness is not individual consciousness. Udara chitta is the one who is in universal consciousness, whose heart has expanded to universal consciousness, is known as Udara Chitta. Very beautiful word which is used. Kasyapi Udara Chittasya Heya Upadeyata Nahi. For him, there is nothing to be accepted, nothing to be rejected. One who is in universal consciousness. And all of us, right from the childhood, we have learnt about these four Purusharthas. What we have been told by our culture, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. अगर आपको अच्छी जिंदगी जीना है तो धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष ये चार पुरुषार्थ यही मार्ग है. धर्म ऐसा ही बताता है हमको कि यू शुड हैव काम. काम मीन्स सेटिस्फैक्शन ऑफ डिजायर. यू शुड हैव अर्थ ऑल्सो. you can earn money. So our religion doesn't say that you should not have money. What they says is your earning should be based on dharma. First comes dharma, righteousness. Righteousness earning of money is all right. Righteousness enjoyment of the world, kama, kama purti is also all right. So if dharma is the basis of your life, then artha and kama is also all right. And if you observe dharma, artha, kama, you will proceed towards moksha. That is what is told. Now what he says is, enlightened being is not even interested in dharma, artha, kama, moksha. धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष के प्रति वो उदासीन ही रहता है. चत्वारि पुरुषार्थात्, he goes beyond four पुरुषार्थात्. And जीविते मरणे तथा, these are the two other things. Life and death, two important questions. I want to live. The desire to live, jiveshna, is dominant in me. And I am very much afraid of death. Jivite marane tatha. So what is the common person? He says that I will live a life in such a way that I will observe these four purushasthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Now, ज्ञानी पुरुष धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष के प्रति और जीवन मृत्यु के प्रति उदासीन रहता है और इन चीजों का न स्वीकार करता है न त्याग करता है. So that is what really Udara Chitta means. One who is in universal consciousness. Now, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, if you are in individual consciousness, you know, Dharma, ये पुरुषार्थ कहते हैं. When you are saying, I am doing Purushartha, you are there. That I consciousness is there. That tinge of ego is there. Even in Mumukshutva, this tinge of ego, I want liberation. So first that I is there. In Mumukshu Bhavana also, that tinge of ahankara, ego sense, individual consciousness is there. So that is what he says, that you may be observing Purushartha, it is better life, but then I am observing these four Purusharthas. I am there. Ego consciousness is there. One who has gone beyond this ego consciousness, he will not be interested or disinterested in चत्वार्थी पुरुषार्थ. या चार पुरुषार्थ के पीछे वो जाएगा नहीं. That is why I say that this actually Ashtavakra Gita is something which is to be meditated upon only. It is not so simple to understand it and shocking. So this is one more shock which he has given, that not dharma artha kama moksha, be even heyopadeya kalpana, neither reject it nor accept it, be udara chitta, become universal consciousness. So that is what he says. Let us go to the next verse number 7. वांछान विश्व विलये न द्वेषा तस्य च स्थितौ यथा जीविकया तस्मात् धन्य आस्ते तथा सुखम. Again, a very beautiful thing. Vanchana Vishwa Vilaye. He doesn't feel, a Jivan Mukta doesn't feel that this world only is obstruction for my growth. ये जगत है, ये संसार जो है, वही मेरे प्रगति के आड़े आ रहा है, इसलिए इसका लय होना चाहिए. वांछा न विश्व विलय. ये विश्व का जब लय होगा, that means when I go beyond the world, then only I will have liberation. So I want to reject the word. I want to dissolve the word. He doesn't expect for dissolution of the word. The blessed man does not wish for dissolution of the word. वांछा यानी इच्छा, न विश्व विलये. ये संसार का विलय हो जाए, ये संसार का लय हो जाए, ऐसी कोई इच्छा उसके मन में नहीं होती. न द्वेष तस्य स स्थितौ. ही इज नॉट हेटिंग द वर्ड. न द्वेषा. क्या है, ये जगत के कारण ही मैं बांधा हुआ हूँ. ऑल दिस वर्ड ओनली, वर्ड इज एन ऑब्स्टेकल फॉर माई ग्रोथ. ऐसी कोई संकल्पना उसकी नहीं है, इसलिए जगत का द्वेष करते हैं लोग. यू कैन सी देयर आर मेनी the so-called yogis who start hating the word, rejecting the word. So they start to go into the solitude, rejecting the word. जीवन मुक्त ये जगत का लय भी नहीं चाहता, ये जगत का द्वेष भी नहीं करता. वांछा न विश्व विलये न द्वेषा तस्य च स्थितौ. यथा जीविकया तस्मात् धन्य आस्ते यथा सुखम. दिस इज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल, रियली वेरी वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. यथा जीविकया तस्मात्. जो प्रारब्ध में है, जैसा जीवन है, वैसा जीवन ही उसको आनंद में हो जाता है. न कोई सुख है न कोई दुख है. यदृच्छया जो भी कुछ जीवन में आता है, बहुत ही कंसिडर दैट as a gift of God. Whether it is sukha, whether it is dukha, whether it is misery, whether it is sorrow, everything is gift of God. ऐसा लगता है उसको ये भगवान का प्रसाद ही है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उसको. whether it is calamity, no no problem at all. वैराग्य जिसका होता है ना, जो एनलाइटन बीइंग होता है ना, सब कुछ जो भी कुछ जीवन में हो रहा है, ईश्वर का प्रसाद है ऐसा ग्रहण करता है. सपोज इफ यू गो टू द टेम्पल and they give you prasad, will you say that this is not sweet actually, ये तो कड़वा दिया है आपने, ये क्या प्रसाद है, ये कटु. No no no, prasad is prasad. You don't have to really say that this is good prasad, bad prasad, this is very tasty prasad. It doesn't become prasad. It is not bhojana. It is not something eatable. It is prasad. In the same way, if we start looking at our life, that whatever is happening to my life is only Ishwara prasad, then neither there will be misery nor there will be happiness. I will be always in a state of bliss. That is what happens. This is what precisely has been told in a very beautiful story, which I have told you earlier, I believe, about Shuka. The one of the enlightened beings, Shuka Sarikhe Purna Vairagya Jate. In Marathi they say that अगर वैराग्य, अंतिम वैराग्य, परा वैराग्य में स्थित अगर कोई होगा तो वो शुक है, व्यास पुत्र शुक. तो व्यास जी तो आप जानते हैं, वेद व्यास वाज ए वेरी ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी, एंड इट सीम्स वंस व्यासा saw his own son Shuka going into the jungle, so he followed him. He was only 18, 19 years old, very bright looking brahmachari. Okay, and when he was going, Shuka went near a lake in which many ladies were taking bath, young ladies were taking bath. शुक्र तो 20-25 साल का था, लेकिन वो जो लेडीज थी उनको कोई फर्क नहीं हुआ शुक्र के जाने से. इफ देर आर यंग लेडीज टेकिंग बाथ एंड ए वेरी यंग, वेरी स्ट्रांग, वेरी lustrous, very beautiful looking man goes there, they will immediately hide themselves. Nothing happened. They continued with their play as if nothing has happened. And after some time, when Vyasa went, Vyasa was 75, 80 years old with white beard, and they started hiding themselves. And Vyasa says, "What is this? When my young son went, you never hide yourself, and when the old man Vyasa is coming, you are hiding." They say that he is like a child. We never saw a young person. He is so innocent like a child. जो बैरागी होता है वो ऐसा होता है बैरागी. So it seems that Vyasa, this Shukra, one day went to Kailasa Parvata. He went to Kailasa Parvata. He was like a child only, And in Kailasa, uh, Shiva was sitting with Parvati, the Divine Mother, and Shiva. Both of them were sitting. And without any introduction, like a small child, he asked, "Oh, Shiva, how are you? And I want to, oh, would you like to discuss something with me?" Without paying any respect to him, without bowing down to him, like a small child only. "Hi, Shiva," something like that. Just as we say today, "What's up?" Like something like that, you know. And Shiva was very happy. "Oh, Shuka, come." And they discussed Vedanta for some time. But Parvati was very much angry that Shiva is the Lord of the universe. He is only a young person. He did not bow down to my master, Shiva, did not show any respect to Shiva. And after some time, when discussion was over, he said, "Okay, then I leave this place." And he started leaving, again not paying respect. So Bhagavati was very much angry, really speaking, very much angry. And she said that ये ये ऊंट की तरह नाक ऊपर करके चलने वाला इगोइस्टिक फेलो है, मैं अभी इसको ऊंट ही बना देती हूँ. He is like a camel. If you have seen camel walking, camel walks with his head up, his nose is up, something like egoistic professor. Hmm. So like that, she said that isko, I will convert him into a camel. And instantaneously he was converted into camel because she was Bhagavati Devi. Huh? And then as a camel only he went into desert, he was living there for a long time. And then when long time passed, after all, she was divine mother, And she said, "Oh, my child, how that child will be, whether he will be suffering." Then Shiva said, Shiva smiled. Shiva knew all these things. Shiva smiled and he said, "You go and see how is he. Go and see." So she went. She said, and he was in the desert, in camel, and he was eating the grass, all sorts of सारे वनस्पतियां इधर उधर खा के मजे में घूम रहा था. And when Divine Mother went there and she said, "Oh, Shuka, how are you?" He said, "Oh, very fine, my mother, by your blessing. I am so happy with your blessings. I am moving it." He said, "What is this? You were Shuka, you were looking after ashram of Vyasa." He said, "That is the thing. When I was in the ashram, so much of trouble. I had to look after the students, I have to teach them, I have to wake them up, take care of them. Now here I am so happy. I move around." And then rather a crude language he uses. He says, "I can pee anywhere. मैं कहीं जहाँ चाहे वहां हक देता हूँ, वहां मुद देता हूँ, कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. आई एम टोटली फ्री." So Divine Mother was so surprised. This is what this is what actually really enlightened being. It did not make any difference for Shuka where he was son of Vyasa, where he was the chief of an ashram, or whether he became camel and had to roam in the desert for grass and the thorny type of doesn't make any difference. He was extremely happy. And he says, "I feel even so happy, your mother, by your grace." And mother understood, and she said, "He's your child only." Immediately she gave him the boon that he becomes Vyasaputra again. But this is what Shukadev जो यदृच्छया प्राप्त हो जाता था, वो प्रारब्ध से जो प्राप्त हो जाता था, दिस इज व्हाट इट सेज, यथा जीविकया तस्मात् धन्यास्ते यथा सुखम। जो जीवन में प्राप्त होता है, सुख हो दुख हो कुछ भी हो, कलामिटी हो, यथा आस्ते तथा सुखम, यदृच्छया जो प्राप्त होता है उसमें जो सुखी रहता है, आनंदी रहता है, he alone is an enlightened being. This is characteristic of, so all these verses which we are reading, they are the characteristics of an enlightened person. जीवन मुक्त के ये सब लक्षण बता रहे हैं अष्टावक्र. So we come to shloka number 8 now. कृतार्थो नेन ज्ञानेन इत्येव गलितधी कृति पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् आस्ते यथा सुखम. Again we are reminded of Gita with this particular verse. So ज्ञान प्राप्ति के कारण जो कृतार्थ हो, कृत अर्थ, one who has that highest state of enlightenment is known as कृतार्थ. और कृतार्थ जो होता है उसका क्या होता है, गलित धी ही कृति. His intellect has fallen off, just as a fruit when it is totally ripe falls off from the tree. Now that intellect is really, you can say, offshoot of prakriti only. The first offshoot of prakriti is intellect, mahat. Now when you are enlightened, it has become so ripe, mahat has become so ripe that it falls off. It is not no more, it becomes vishuddha buddhi, परिपक्व बुद्धि. उसको परिपक्व बुद्धि, परिपक्व फल जैसा होता है वैसा परिपक्व जब बुद्धि हो जाती है तो गलित धी, गलित धी, दैट मीन्स इट फॉल्स ऑफ, परिपक्व होते वो छोड़ दे. नाउ इंटेलेक्ट इज नॉट नेसेसरी, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन इज नॉट नेसेसरी, बिकॉज ही हैज गॉन बियॉन्ड डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, बियॉन्ड गुड एंड बैड, बियॉन्ड पाप एंड पुण्य. तो ज्ञान प्राप्ति के कारण जिसकी बुद्धि गलित हो चुकी है, कृतार्थो नेन ज्ञानेन इत्येव गलित धी कृति पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् आस्ते यथा सुखम. चलते फिरते, सूंघते, खाते पीते, इन ऑल द एक्शंस, खाते समय वो आनंद के स्थिति में ही रहता है. इन एनी एक्शन he is practicing meditation in action. He is in samadhi in all action. This is what Bhagavad Gita again in that second chapter only, Sthita Prajna Lakshana, Pashyan, same thing. Pashyan Shrunvan Spushan Jigran, Nashnan Gachan Chapai Shwasan, Pralapan Visrujan Grunnan Nunmishan Nimishan Napi, Indriyani Indriyarteshu Vartanta Iti Dharayan. Indriyani Indriyarteshu Vartanta Iti Dharayan. He becomes only a sakshi. He sees himself eating, drinking, not involving. He is only onlooker. He is only a witness. He is pure sakshi. अपनी जो क्रिया है, प्रक्रिया है, उसका वो साक्षी हो जाता है. One whose intellect doesn't interfere because of self knowledge remains ever happy while seeing, listening, touching, smelling, or eating. It is the intellect which creates ego, mind. We know that the first offshoot is intellect. After the intellect, the ego comes. After the ego, the sense organs and the mind comes. And then good, bad, papa, punya, all the discrimination starts with us. With that, the misery arises. Okay. Now, Galitadhi means all ego has gone, mind has gone, intellect has become totally ripe and fallen off. All likes and dislikes, they will go off. जिसको आत्मबोध हो चुका है उसकी बुद्धि मानो गल जाती है, और बुद्धि ही वैयक्तिक चेतना को विश्व से अलग करती है. What is the first thing which separates us from the universal consciousness is the intellect. Intellect only separates that this is me, this is mine, and this is the universe. बुद्धि गलित होने से I become universal consciousness. So then I am always in meditation. I am always in samadhi in all actions. So this is meditation in action which he is telling. चलते फिरते खाते हमेशा आत्मस्थिति में. I think we can have one more sloka, then we'll stop. Another very uh, beautiful words by Ashtavakra sloka number 9. शून्या दृष्टि वृथा चेष्टा विकलानि इंद्रियाणि च न स्पृहा न विरक्तिर्वा क्षीण संसार सागरे. क्षीण संसार सागरे. संसार सागर, द ओशन ऑफ वर्ल्डलीनेस. क्षीण, जब ये भवसागर सूख जाता है, क्षीण हो जाता है, दैट मीन्स the word is not existing for him. Kshina samsara sagare, when the universe has dried up, the ocean of the universe has dried up, an enlightened one shows no attachment or aversion. His gaze is blank, shunya drishti. He is not looking at anything. This is also very, very particular, you can say, lakshana, particular sign of enlightened being. There is no focusing. We are all, whenever we are looking, ordinary people, we are looking at something, we are focusing at something. हम देखते हैं. The enlightened beings are in a state of defocusing. Their eyes are defocused. They are not looking at anything. इसको शून्य दृष्टि कहते हैं. शून्य दृष्टि वृथा चेष्टा. Their actions are meaningless actions. We act to get something, to achieve something, to fulfill the desires. There is some purpose behind our action. For them, it is vrutha chesta, no purposeless action. Purposeless action. Vrutha chesta, shunya drishti, defocusing. You know, if you look at the picture of even Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, gaze at the picture of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you will find that he is not looking at anything. His eyes are defocused. Any enlightened being, their eyes are defocused, not focused. They are not looking at isko shunya drishti. They are not looking at anything. Shunya. And their actions are vrutha chesta, purposeless actions. You know, I told you about that this Narayana Guru. People could not understand what he is doing. I told you last time also that he will take a very big stone, very huge stone, early in the morning, and there was a hillock, and with great effort he will be sweating, he will be exhausted. Slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, he will take it up, take it up. He will be perspiring 4-5 hours for taking that huge stone up. For what? Nobody knows. Taking it up. And when it goes up, he will just release it from there. And when it comes down dancing, jumping, he will just clap like a child. Now, people, that is why he was known as Narayan Prantam. That means Pagal Narayan, mad fellow. This is Vrutha Chesta. You will not understand why he is doing this. There is no purpose behind it. Like a child. Many times when the children play, you will find that there is nothing purpose in that. They are just enjoying our actions. Vrutha Chesta. So Shunya Drishtir Vrutha Chesta Vikalani Indriyani Cha. The sense organs are not active. They have lost their activity. Vikalani Indriyani Cha. na spruha, na viraktirva. There is no desire for achieving something spruha. Hmm. Na viraktirva. Neither they are detached from the thing, not interested, disinterested. Hmm. Kshina samsara sagare. Because there is no samsara for them. Hmm. An enlightened one for whom the ocean of the universe has dried up shows no attachment or aversion. His gaze is blank, his activities are purposeless, and his senses are almost non-functional. विकला आणि इंद्रियाणी च ज्ञानी के लिए संसार सागर मानो सूख जाता है. उसे न आसक्ति रहती है न विरक्ति रहती है. उसकी नजर शून्य हो जाती है. उसकी क्रियाएं अर्थहीन हो जाती है. उसकी इंद्रियाएं अकार्यक्षम हो जाती है. So Ashtavakra has beautifully described the characteristic of Jivan Mukta in this particular thing, living liberated. So totally blank gaze, because he is gazing at Atman alone. He is not at all gazing at the world. That is why the gaze is blank gaze, शून्य दृष्टि. सो किसी वस्तु को देख ही नहीं रहा है, वो केवल आत्मा को ही देख रहा है. और इसलिए इंद्रिया ऑल्सो मानो अकार्यक्षम हो. पुरुषार्थ शून्यानाम गुणानाम प्रतिप्रसवा चिति शक्ति रीति. द गुणास आर बिकमिंग नॉन फंक्शनल इन हिम. दैट इज द लास्ट सूत्र ऑफ पातंजलि योग सूत्र. पुरुषार्थ शून्यानाम गुणानाम प्रतिप्रसव. प्रतिप्रसव इज a very beautiful word. प्रसव की उल्टी प्रक्रिया, गोइंग बैकवर्ड्स टुवर्ड्स द ओरिजिन, गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द सेल्फ, is known as pratiprasava. So that is why the gunas, because they have no purpose at all, they go backwards to the origin. And with that, whatever gunas are doing, who is doing looking out, eating, it is only the function of the gunas, sattva raja tamo gunas. Okay, so this is what is happening. Therefore the actions become purposeless. Yadruchaya ही so सब हो जाता है. So that is what actually Mirabai also says. भव सागर सूख गयो क्षीण सागर है. भव सागर सूख गयो फिकर नहीं मोहे तरण न की. मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरण न की. वेरी ब्यूटीफुली सेड बाय संत मीराबाई. सूख गया भव सागर. ये सारा भव सागर है वो सूख गया है. अगर भव सागर सूख गया है तो अब तैर के जाने की फिक्र ही कहाँ रही. वेर इज द एंजाइटी ऑफ स्विमिंग अक्रॉस द ओशन. द ओशन हैज ड्राइड अप. भव सागर सूख गयो फिकर नहीं मोहे तरण की. मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरण न की. गुरु के चरण मेरे पास है तो ये भवसागर का भय कहाँ मेरे पास है. सो दैट इज द एनलाइटन स्टेट ऑफ ए ज्ञानी which has been described in all these verses. We have come up to 9, so next time we shall study the 10th. There are 10 or 11 more shlokas in the 17th chapter, which is described the state of an enlightened being. जीवन मुक्त के सारे लक्षण इसमें बताए गए हैं. So it is 9 o'clock and I should stop here and I will chant the Shanti mantras. But as usual, as much time as you have, we can have discussion. Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat.